You're right. You see things that most people don't see. You're able to see very clearly what the problem is, what needs to be done to fix it, and exactly who needs to do it in order to be better, right? This personality pattern that I'm Heidi, by the way. This personality pattern we're talking about today is the personality pattern of the fixer. And the fixer, I want you to think of it like the hero. It's the one that runs in, swoops in to save the day. It could be anybody in your life that this shows up as. It could be a brand new relationship where you meet somebody and you're super attracted to them and you think, man, this one's got a lot of potential. Let's just tidy up a couple of these little things and then we'll be good to go. That's kind of the most benign version of it, all the way to some heavy versions of fixing, where maybe you're in a relationship with somebody who's even addicted or dysfunctional or unhealthy in some way. And you believe that if you just try hard enough, you're going to be able to fix them out of their addiction or fix them out of their problems, their relationship problems, whatever have you. Or you can do this behavior with your partner or somebody you're in a relationship with yourself where maybe they're depressed or anxious and you spend all your time trying to rescue them from that behavior and help them solve. You, my friend, are the personality pattern, attachment personality pattern, I call it, of the fixer. And what's an attachment personality pattern? Well, I've been doing this work in relationships and healthy self-esteem and self-love and for a really long time. And what I've come to understand is we're not really who we are. We're not really who we think we are. We're actually who we've needed to be. And what that means is we take on a personality pattern in order to survive, thrive, connect, or cope in our family dynamic. And I've identified 8 of them. If you're interested in more, you can always go over to lovecoachheidi.com and read about them. But today we're going to talk about this pattern. This pattern is absolutely maddening. So let's say you have that person. You have that new relationship or the old relationship or the child or the spouse or partner who is in trouble. And your deep, deep down desire is to save the day. That's real. And it's also real that you know how to do it. That's also real too. You do have really bomb advice. Okay. You really do know how to get things done. But how do you spend your time when you're the fixer? Is you spend your time researching, how to fix people. And again, you could be online for hours trying to figure out the nature of their issues and all the research involved with the best possible way to go about solving this problem for them. And then once you gather all your information about how to fix something, then you get into, you could move into lecturing where you want to sit down sit down with that person and explain to them exactly how step-by-step process to fix it. Or you might try to, charm them and influence them into fixing by kind of, maneuvering your influence in a way that makes it seem like it's their idea. Or you could just, however you do it, lecture, charm, influence, you could actually plead for them. You could plead with them. You could get into like this begging. If you just do this, I know that we'll be, I have notes here, so I don't leave anything out. Or you could even get into doing it for them. You could be so desperate for them to change that you pick up the phone and make all the calls for them and do all the legwork and the research, make the appointments and do everything for them. Your intentions are so pure. I just want to stop right here and let you know that I don't believe this is malicious behavior. This is an honest attempt on your part to make people reach their full potential. You believe in them. You know deep down that if they just listen to you, they're going to have the life they really desire. They're going to have what they really want. But what happens? You spend all your dang time lecturing, researching, trying to fix the problem, doing the legwork for them. Do they do it? Do they do it? No, they don't do it, right? They don't take it on. And so how do you feel at the end of the day? Well, you end up feeling totally frustrated, resentful as all heck, burnt out, angry, any number of feelings. You know what it's like when you spend all your time just trying to help somebody and they don't take your advice. It's maddening. And then what do you do to cope with those feelings? Well, some of us will actually just say, screw it, there's nothing I can do, but not many of us. Most of us will internalize their failure. So here's what happens. They refuse to do the thing, and then we internalize their refusal or their behavior and make it about us. And then we go, man, if they really love me, they change. I know there's the full potential there, but they're not reaching it. It must be me. And then what we do is we double down on this behavior, and we double down even more. And that, I call these things insane cycles. And every single personality pattern has their own insane cycle, which is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. When you internalize somebody's behavior and make it about you, of course, you're just going to go in even harder and just be like, man, that didn't work. Let me research more. Let me make more appointments. Let me do the thing I need to do even more. Let me plead more. Let me beg more. And the story goes on and on and on. What are you going to do about this? Why do we need to do something about this? Well, what's the cost of operating this way? Besides total mental, physical, and psychological exhaustion, your happiness is on the line. Your ability to have a happy life without it being contingent upon fixing somebody else is at stake here for you. So I always, I'm a therapeutic coach, which means I like to get to the root of our relationship issues and challenges. And I've done a lot of studying over the 20 years. I worked in a therapeutic environment for 8 years with thousands of case studies to really understand these behaviors and why we do the things we do. And so here's what I know for sure. There was a payoff once upon a time for this behavior, or it wouldn't have been so ingrained in you. So once upon a time in your family dynamic where these personality patterns originate, stay with me, okay, is sometime you had a dysfunctional situation. Maybe you had a parent that was an alcoholic or out to lunch or not firing on all cylinders. And so your job in the family was to fix everything and hold it all together. It's also the glue. Maybe you were a little adult very early on. You were 9 going on 40. And you figured that, hey, as long as you're in charge of this dynamic, nothing can go wrong. You're going to save the day. You're not afraid to call out issues. And sometimes in your family of origin, that probably worked some of the time, or you wouldn't be doing it today. So what happened is you connected your self-esteem to fixing things or fixing people. And when you're fixing people, you get to feel good. Okay. So the other side of that, that's one explanation. The other thing is maybe it never worked. Maybe you were in your childhood and you're like, if I just do this, dad will quit drinking, or if I just do this, mom will act better, or if I just do this, my siblings won't be in this. And it never worked. And so now you're trying to rectify, you're trying to resolve that unresolved issue with other people in your life. And you're going about it, you don't even know you're doing it. It's unconscious to you. So here's what I want. Here's the way out. You cannot change what you don't acknowledge. And so making your behavior conscious, and not just being on automatic pilot in a trance like we all are, okay, most of the time we're all just in this trance, that's what these videos are for. My intent with you is to call this behavior up and out into the light, so the awareness, when you turn the light on, you can look at your behavior from a new perspective and say, it's not, oh, it's just the way I am. Well, is it the way you really are, or the way you needed to be? And is it the way you want to be now? What would happen if you took this behavior away? Who would you be without needing to fix other people all the time? Well, the question is, because it pays off sometimes, right? So it's kind of scary, right? Who would I be without it? Well, I'll tell you who you'd be. You'd be a person without frustration, anxiety, resentment, and confusion and pain all the time, because that behavior is what's causing that. Even though there is a payoff sometimes, most of the time you're just pissed. Most of the time you're just frustrated because it's not working. That's what I do. I help people resolve these personality patterns, rip off the masks that we've been wearing, and find our true self, and then cultivate our ability to be our true self, resolve the things that aren't resolved in us, make sense of the things in the past, understand them in a brand new way, and go about our lives now knowing fully our value, not having anything to prove to anybody. And I'll tell you what happens as a result. All of your relationships improve in every single area of your life. So if you're interested in that and you say, yes, I want to start that journey, let the awareness and the wake up and the opening of your eyes be the first thing you do to guide you to the next step, which is to go over to lovecoachheidi.com. All those 8 different personality patterns are listed. If you can identify with one of them, even the one today, and you're saying, yes, 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 I've created a free masterclass for you to learn how to overcome these behaviors. It's actually called Love Yourself First, the 3 master steps in order to create that you need to take in order to create the relationships you deserve. So if you identify, go over and sign up for that masterclass. There's one happening soon. And I look forward to seeing you inside there, because I'll tell you what's waiting for you on the other side: authentic happiness. All right. I love you. Have a great day today. Take excellent care, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye bye.